Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to URKG. This is your latest Real Madrid news. Real Madrid have officially completed 2 major sales to Fulham, and there could be a much bigger defensive story developing behind the scene. Of course, Gonzalo Garcia is joining Fulham in a deal worth up to 42 million. Cesar Palacios is also following him for 10 million euros, and Real Madrid have protected themselves with major future clauses. But the biggest surprise, the biggest of all, is that reports that are saying Real Madrid were considering selling Raúl Asencio and then making a move for Inter Milan, Alessandro Bastoni. Look, we'll delve into that. We'll talk about that. Of course, there's a lot to discuss. There is a lot to discuss, people, but big up to every single one of you. As always, make sure you smash a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. But the first big story is, of course, Gonzalo Garcia, as you can see, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Full agreement. It is a done deal. Here we go. 40 million guaranteed transfer fee and then 2 million in potential add-ons that Real Madrid retain a 30% sell-on clause. So that's good. That is a good deal. I think in terms of Real Madrid, I think it's a good deal. What do you guys think about this deal? Is this a good deal for Real Madrid? Is this a bad deal? Did you want Gonzalo Garcia to stay or leave? Let me know in the chat. But this is not, a simple academy player sale. I think Real Madrid have received a significant guaranteed fee, also while maintaining an opportunity to benefit from Gonzalo's future development. Why Fulham? Juan Gonzalo? I mean, you could ask that, but obviously he's going to offer them a lot of things, right? Excellent movement inside the penalty box. He's strong in finishing. His finishing instinct is really strong. The ability to press defenders. Physically, he's aggressive. His willingness to make consistently runs. And he's an experienced player. He played under pressure for Real Madrid. So Arbeloa was definitely getting a huge signing for him. It's a huge plus for him. He wanted him. And it's a massive plus. Is 40 million a good price? There's a lot of discussion about that. I'm going to get into the comment sections as always. But from financial perspective, I would say this is an excellent deal for an academy graduate. I mean, Real Madrid received 40 million immediately, and we could actually potentially earn another 2 million through add-ons. However, the concern is whether Gonzalo could become a striker worth up to 70 M's or 80 M's in the Premier League. And this is why the 30% sell-on clause is extremely important, because, for example, let's say, should Fulham eventually sell Gonzalo for 80 M's, Real Madrid could potentially receive a substantial percentage of that future transaction, depending on the precise clause and the precise price. So I feel like selling him is a correct decision, Chad. I'm not going to lie. I mean, we don't have spots. We really don't have spots. You look at Gonzalo Garcia, is he going to get minutes? Even last season, without even potentially signing Diomande, he barely got minutes, even though Rodrigo was out for the season. So I feel like even though Endrick also out on loan, he still didn't get minutes. So that tells me there's no way in hell Gonzalo Garcia could stay and have significant minutes. That wasn't going to happen. I think we all expected that. Maybe most of us wanted this deal to be a loan deal and instead of a sell. But I believe in the future, if Gonzalo Garcia can somehow significantly improve and light up the Premier League, I think he could return to Real Madrid potentially. I mean, maybe for 70, 80, 90 M's, maybe we could bring him back. A lot of people were saying that Gonzalo Garcia was the next Raúl, this guy that kisses his ring finger. But look, the way he plays, his style of play is like Raúl. I mean, look, I feel a little bit sad for him because I don't think we've given him significant chance to become the main striker. And we had a lot of options in up front. So it's sad to see, really sad to see. But I wish him the best, bro. I wish him the best. Let me go through some of the comments before we move on to the next bigger story, of course, CR7. Chelsea says, no, sucks a little, says Chelsea. There says, very bad. You think this is a very bad deal for Fulham, or do you think it's a very bad deal for Real Madrid? Let me know. Also, get involved in the comment section and let me know what y'all think about that. Imagine if Arbeloa relegated Fulham. Cristiano, yo, that would be wild. That is going to be wild. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, 2 major signings. Of course, this is the first one. We're going to talk about the next one in a moment. Gonzalo García is going to do really good, says Roblox. Loan, yes. Feruz, I'm with you. I actually wanted a loan. But look, at least we don't even have a buyback clause inside this. So we only getting 30%. We're getting fixed 40 M's. Let me look at it again. So we're getting 40 fixed and 2 million add-ons, 30% sell-on clause. So we're not really getting a buyback clause. So we can't even trigger a buyback clause like we did with Nico Paz. We can't do that. We can't do that. Gonzalo can play as a center forward. Don't forget KG. He is one of the center forwards. Let's be honest. He's one of the center forwards that we don't really have the style of play he has. He's not similar to Endrick. He's not similar to Kylian Mbappe. He offers us something different. He offers us something like, you know, what was his name? What was his name? The guy that scored against Bayern Munich. Oh my God, I forgot his name. He offers us something different. He's like Chicharito. He's a different type of center forward. He's a different type of center forward. So I'm really sad to see him go, but I understand it. I really understand it because we can't continue to have 9 strikers and have problems up front. We don't want to have that. We just do not want to have that. Loan to Manchester United. Look, if he goes to Manchester United, he wouldn't play. Sesko is going to be in front of him. So it's the right choice for him. Fulham might be a little bit low. I expected him to go to like a Villa team, Aston Villa, a team that is between like 5th and 10th. But Fulham, look, he could do well there. He could definitely do well. Shakura, what are your thoughts about the here we go? We just got the double here we go. We're focusing on Gonzalo Garcia. Get your comments in. Guys, we could sign him more players since we sold 2 players. That's a good point, Sabla. I'm going to get into that in a second. Asencio out, Bastoni in. We haven't talked about that yet. Hold tight. We're going to talk about that in a second. You mean Jose Lu says JRK? Exactly. That's the guy. That is the guy, Jose Lu. He's that type of center forward. He can head the ball. He's a predator inside the box. Kylian Mbappe can't even head the ball. He's not that type. So I feel like selling Gonzalo Garcia would be a mistake. But again, we have a lot of options. You either sell him or let him go, or you sell Endrick. And for me, I think Endrick is better than Gonzalo Garcia, even though Gonzalo Garcia offers us something different. I would say that I did say last season that Gonzalo Garcia is good, but Endrick is much more better than him. I think we should sign Jose Lu. He's currently a free agent. He's too old now. Too old. Good deal with Fulham because Real Madrid has a lot of attackers. I agree with CR7. Garcia says we signed Bastoni. No, I'm going to get into that in a second. The Rodri, there's some updates regarding Rodri as well. We're going to talk about that in a moment. What's your best 11 for Madrid this season? Look, Aslan, we're going to talk about that. Right? But the major news right now is that agreement is done. This is a very strong business deal, and Real Madrid must make sure the squad still have enough depth in attack. So for me, I think it's the right decision. But let's move on. We have a lot to cover, chat. So let's move on to the next deal. Of course, Cesar Palacios also joining Fulham. Here we go. Has been confirmed by Fabrizio and Romano. Another here we go today. We got 2 here we goes, and we're selling players, which is good. We don't want to end up like Chelsea, having 30 players in the locker room and then they share locker rooms. 1 locker room for 2. Like Vinicius will have 1, and then Rodrigo will be sharing with him. We don't want to run into that scenario. We can't have a massive squad in the dressing room. So we have to sell players and we have to let go of players. And this is another academy, right? Palacios to Fulham, here we go, has been deal agreed on both players and club side with Real Madrid. 10 million transfer fee and the 30% sell-on clause. As markup reporter says Fabrizio, Real Madrid have matching rights for both Palacios and Gonzalo Garcia. So basically, both of them, right? Both of them were doing 30% sell-on clause, which is good, I mean, this move makes sense. I mean, Fulham, Palacios will have an opportunity to develop alongside Gonzalo. This is important because they already understand each other. You know, they're moving together from Madrid. The adaptation process could be easier because they're going to be together. Fulham appear, prepared to give young players responsibilities. And the Premier League provides a major platform for these two kids, really. So the presence of Alvaro Arbeloa at Fulham could also make this project attractive because he already knows both players and he understands their strength. So Madrid receiving a significant fee. Overall, we're getting close to 50 guaranteed fee, potentially 52 before any future sales. So for two academy players, this represents, it really does represent a significant income, while still allowing Real Madrid to benefit if either player becomes a star. So if they light up the Premier League, for example, one of them, we're making a significant money. Right. So from business standpoint, I think this makes absolutely perfect sense. If Palacios stay, is he actually going to get minutes? No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't get minutes, especially now we're trying to add Rodri. We already add Bernardo Silva in there, and we're going to have Rodrigo back. We're going to have Diaz back. We have all these players. How the hell, bro? How the hell? Really, how the hell is he going to play? How the hell is he going to play? It's going to be impossible for him to get minutes. So I think it's the right decision. What do you guys think about this deal? Is this a good deal? Is this a bad deal? First of all, from Real Madrid perspective, I want to get your answers. I want to get your thoughts. I'm going to go through the comment sections in a second here. Chilean says Gonzalo's very dynamic player. I would have loved to keep him, but selling him to a club where he can play more, especially under a manager that knows him well, is for his own good. Good point. We need to sell more young players, says Chicken. We already sold a lot of young players. I'm actually going to bring in, once we're done with this, I'm going to bring in how much money we actually made from all these sales. I'm going to bring it in. Okay, I'm going to bring it in. KG, you need to give Asencio time. He's only 23. We didn't talk about Asencio yet. We're going to talk about Asencio after this topic, right? Let's focus on these two deals now. Asencio must stay. Mastantuano's leaving. Mastantuano, we talked about Mastantuano yesterday. If you weren't on the show, the day before. Talked about that. Potentially, Mastantuano could be leaving as well. But I think Fulham could finish in the top 7 in the Premier League as CR7. It depends, right? It depends. If Gonzalo Garcia lights up, if he lights up the Premier League, yes. But if not, it's going to be tricky, right? We've sold Frank Garcia too already. Yeah, Frank Garcia is gone. Vinny Jr. staying, says Prom. Yes, looks like Vinny Jr. is going to be staying. But let's focus on this topic here. Palacios can play in the Copa del Rey and small games. But that's not going to happen anymore now. Look, even in Copa del Rey's, we've got players that can play there, not youngsters. Thiago Patach is also going to be staying, right? He's still there. So you can't have all these kids at the same time. It just doesn't make any sense. How many people are sad the fact that Gonzalo Garcia, and especially Gonzalo Garcia, is leaving right now? Let me see in the chat. Gonzalo Garcia is leaving. So sad, says Prime Jeffrey. I feel you. We got Fulham signings, Real Madrid players before Arsenal. Let's check it. Look, overall, I think the sell-on clause is good, chat. That's what I want to focus on. The 30% sell-on clause maybe become extremely valuable moving forward for Real Madrid. It will allow us, it's going to allow them to develop, but it's also going to help us out with a significant amount of return. If they do improve and if they get to a different level, that is definitely going to happen, right? I think it's a good deal, says Chicken. Aslan says, did you see the Super Copa semifinal? I haven't seen that yet. He wouldn't even start, to be honest, with Mbappe and Endrick in the way. Another massive point, right? That's exactly what I mentioned, right? There's no way that Gonzalo Garcia is going to get minutes now that we have Diomande. In addition to the front line. And also Rodrigo. Don't forget, Rodrigo wasn't there. Rodrigo's going to be a new signing for Real Madrid this season because he was out the entire season. Even Rodrigo being out, even Mbappe having, injuries and stuff, Gonzalo did not get a lot of minutes. So I feel like selling these two is a massive, massive plus. I would say it's a massive, massive plus for Real Madrid, and the sell-on clause is a huge plus. But let's get to the biggest story, people. Let's get to the biggest story right now is regarding Bastoni. And is also regarding Asencio. So according to AS Real Madrid, according to a lot of reports, by the way, Real Madrid are considering selling Raúl Asencio and then pursuing Alessandro Bastoni. Yes, but Asencio's injury has reportedly made the whole plan more complicated. This is the biggest story of this live show, people, because Bastoni would be an elite defensive addition for Real Madrid. We've been tracking him. That's the guy we wanted to sign. That's the guy Jose Mourinho wanted to sign. Bastoni brings, he's one of the most European strongest left-footed center backs. He's got a lot of strength, outstanding passing from defense. His ability to break lines, with progressive passes. His composure under pressure. He's excellent positioning, strong aerial duels abilities, right? Experience playing in a back three or in a back four. Leadership at the highest level. Balance as naturally, it's going to give the team balance because naturally he's left-footed. That's the way you want to have it. You don't want two right-footed defenders in the team. You want to have one left-footed center back and then one right-footed center back, and then you got the left back and then you have the right back. So the fact that this deal could be compromised, I'm really mad. I'm really, really pissed off. I'm really pissed off at this guy, Asencio, man. Really pissed off at this guy. Just when you think that he's going to go, he picks up an injury, bro. Ooh, what kind of person? He probably got injured on purpose. Because, if we get Bastoni, chat, if we get this guy, Bastoni and Hausen partnership could potentially, become one of the best young defensive partnership in Europe. It could be, right? It could have been. There's still a chance that we could sign Bastoni. But the transfer has been difficult, is being complicated right now because of Asencio's injury just creates several problems. Because interested clubs right now may pause negotiation. They don't want to negotiate anymore. If the player is injured, they don't want to negotiate anymore. His transfer value, is going to become more. It's gonna decrease, obviously, right? Madrid may need him for squad depth when he returns, but I don't particularly think if there's any club right now approaching Asencio, trying to sign Asencio in these conditions. Like who in the right mind, chat? Who in the right mind is actually going to approach Asencio now that he's injured? I don't get it. Even him without being injured, I didn't think that there was going to be many options. Clearly, Arbeloa doesn't want to sign him. I wanted Arbeloa to get him instead of Gonzalo Garcia, to be honest. It's just really, really... Look, Madrid now are facing a difficult decision. Do we continue pursuing Bastoni, regardless of Asencio's situation, or postpone the move until, the defensive squad becomes clear? Because my opinion is that Bastoni is the level of a defender that Real Madrid should pursue. I think he's better than most of the defenders that we have. He's definitely better than Kanate. He's definitely better than Asencio. He might be better than Dean Hausen. And he's left-footed as well. Extremely, extremely difficult to find. So I don't know what the club's going to do. I would say pursue, still go and pursue Bastoni and somehow find a deal for Asencio to go somewhere with a cheaper deal. That's what I want. But according to the reports, it has now become complicated because Asencio's injured. So we can't have all these defenders in the same team. What are your thoughts about Bastoni? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to go through the comments here. Bastoni will join next season, I guess, as random. River says Bastoni is a creep. Why you say that? We win in the trouble. Mbappe will win the Ballon d'Or 26-27. Mbappe has a chance to win the Ballon d'Or, by the way. Uh, uh, it's a good move, but it's a club decision, not Jose. Look, Jose has connection with Inter Milan. You know that. And Jose has connections with the Serie A teams. So definitely Jose Mourinho also wanted to do, wants to sign Bastoni. 100%. 100%. When will the Rodri deal complete? Look, we're going to talk about Rodri. Let's focus on Bastoni. And then any questions you guys may have, we're going to discuss that, right? We're going to discuss that for the rest of the show. Barcelona wanted Bastoni, and now Real Madrid want him. What the F, Barcelona Knight? Be our scout. After all, says Chicken. Kenneth says, your team is cooking in the market. Let's hope you guys don't go 3 seasons in a row trophyless. Trust Mourinho. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kenneth, look, there's no way we're going trophyless 3 years in a row. That's not going to happen, bro. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. There's no way that's going to happen, bro. Bastoni makes too many tackles, says Cristiano. We have too many center backs, says Firuz. Exactly my point was, that's exactly what I mentioned, right? That's exactly what I mentioned. What I mentioned is that this Asencio situation, if he can't leave, forget about another center back. Yes, David Alaba probably has left. Frank Garcia has left. But don't think about another center back options. We still have Militao in there. We still have Rudiger in there. Dean Howson is in there. We added Kanate in there. So we already have Asencio in there. Asencio has to leave, in my opinion. Asencio has to leave. I think, let me just quickly check. Let me just quickly check how long this guy Asencio is out. Let me quickly check how long this guy Asencio is out, because I think it was mentioned earlier today. I think it was mentioned earlier today. Yep, it's right here. It's right here. So basically, Asencio, according to Fabrizio, right? He suffered a muscle injury and he would be sidelined. Oh, the defender is expected to be out for 6 weeks. Bro's gonna be out for 6 weeks. That's more than a month. That's more than a month. I don't know. I don't know what kind of team is going to offer him. Maybe loan. We might get a loan deal. But I don't think anybody's going to buy Asencio, chat. I don't think so. Not even the Premier League teams. I mean, the money is in the Premier League teams, but not even the Premier League teams can afford Asencio or get him. I'm only considering loan deals now. That's the only thing that can happen, chat. That is the only thing that can happen. So he's going to be out for 6 weeks, which means it's going to complicate the deal that we're going to be trying to do to sign Alessandro Bastoni. So it's disappointing. It's really, really disappointing. He got injured on purpose. That's what I was thinking. I'm so evil, right? I am so evil. I thought he got injured on purpose. I really, really thought he got injured on purpose. Seriously, I did. Because just when you think he was about to leave, just when you think he's about to go, he picks up an injury, man. I think Mason Mount used to do that. Luke Shaw used to do that at Manchester United. And now Asensio's doing it, bro. Asensio's doing it. Alaba was doing it all season. Look, I've had it, man. I've had enough with these defenders. Mendy's another one. Look, these are frauds, man. Absolute frauds. Seriously. Zidane said Mendy can still play for France, by the way. Yeah, of course. Why not? If Mendy stay fit, Mendy's one of the best defenders, right? But look, we have all the latest news, chat. And then we're going to do Q&A and then we're going to wrap up. But any other news coming up? Let me just quickly take a look. What? I got to bring this in. This just came in. Real Madrid are considering signing a pure striker. What? Who? You just sold the pure striker. You just sold pure striker Gonzalo Garcia. Right? You just sold Gonzalo Garcia. Who are you trying to sign? Who's this guy? Rodara. I don't know if he's reliable. I mean, he works for ESPN. This guy works for ESPN. I don't know if he's reliable, chat. I don't know if he's reliable. But according to him, according to that report, they're saying that Madrid is considering a pure center forward. Who? Who, chat? Who could it be? Let me know in the comments right now. Let me know in the comments right now. Who could it be, chat? Who could it be? Who could it be? We got Mbappe, Rodrigo, Diomande, Endrick, Vinicius Jr., Mastantano still there? Who could it be? Erling Haaland? No. Haaland can't be. Haaland can't be. Joselu? Maybe Joselu, but Joselu's too old, though. Joselu's too old. Joselu's too old. Dembele, says Rowan? Nah. I don't see that happening, chat. I really don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening. But Endrick is definitely back. We didn't really talk about him. He is back in training, so he's going to be fit for the Fiorentina match. So I'm excited for that one. Really excited for that one, of course. But there's a lot of things coming in. It's just wild. It is just absolutely wild. But my focus, what I want to focus on is Bastoni deal. The only way this Bastoni deal is going to happen is if we sell another center back. And that center back has to be Asencio. I don't see any other center backs in the team that we can actually sell and make money off of, right? When you think about it, we're not selling Rudiger. Rudiger just extended. We're not selling Militao. Militao's also going to be staying. Kanate is a new addition. Dean Howson is the future. He's the future of the team. So technically, the only person that we can actually sell, the only person we could get money out of or sell or insert a buyback clause is this guy right here, Asencio. So he's definitely have to go, bro. He's definitely has to go, chat. He has to go. There's no question around it. He has to leave. He has to leave. But I'm going to give you guys my thought. Oh, there's one more thing that I wanted to mention. There's another deal happening and nobody's talking about it. It's regarding Jacob Ortega. Yes, according to Dario AS, Real Madrid are close to selling Jacob Ortega to Strasbourg for 8 M's. They also keep 50% of his rights as well as future buyback clause. Another player, another academy player we're selling. I mean, we're making crazy money, chat. We are making crazy money. There was a statement that I actually saw that Madrid have sold a lot of players. Let me bring it in. Let me bring it in right now. Let me bring it in right now because you will be surprised. You will be surprised. It's incredible how much money we have made selling players, bro. How much money we have made selling players. So this is it, right? So you can't really see it. Oh, you can't really see it. Let me see. Let me see if I can go vertical and bring it in here. Let me bring it in here, chat. Sorry. Let me bring it in here. Why is it? Again. Okay. So this is it, chat. These are the players, right? These are all the players that we have signed. These are all the players that we have signed. These are all the players that we have signed or we about to sign. Rodri is also not in the list, right? He's not in the list. But look at the amount of money we have made so far. I mean, we sold Nico Paz, we sold Munoz, we sold Garcia, we sold Rodriguez, Andres. Look, Fran Garcia, Martin, Enrique, Ramos, and the 2 deals that I just showed you today, the Palacios and Gonzalo Garcia, are not even included in this one. So potentially, we're looking at 250. We're looking at 250. We're looking at 250. So we're making crazy money. We are absolutely cooking buying players, but we are also absolutely cooking selling players. Understand that. Understand that, bro. Understand that. Tito Perez is making big moves, people. He's making big moves. Oops. Let me go here. Let me go here. But let me go back to the news. Jacob Ortega, look. I feel like, look, he's a decent player. Have we actually seen him play a lot of minutes? No. I don't know anything about him. I probably saw him play once or twice. So to get at 8 million out of him, it's a big plus. It's a big plus for Real Madrid. I have to admit, it is a big plus for Real Madrid. Let me see. Hold on a sec. Not happening on purpose, says Silva. What do you mean? What's not happening? Palacios is playing in March. Yes, Palacios. I know about Palacios. I'm talking about this guy, Jacob Ortega. I'm talking about Jacob Ortega. JB, thanks for joining in. As every single one of you joining in, you already know what to do. Let's get to 100 likes. Make sure you smash that like, okay? Make sure you smash that like and get your thoughts in on all the topics that we just covered. We talked about a whole lot of stuff. Of course, we talked about the breaking news from Fabrizio about Gonzalo Garcia. Here we go to Fulham. Same with Cesar Palacios. Here we go, has been confirmed there. There's a potential signing here for Real Madrid regarding Bastoni and how that is complicated because of Asencio. So these are the topics that we have covered so far. So if you are just tuning in, get your thoughts in regarding all these topics that we've covered. So we're just going to do a little bit of Q&A and we're going to end it, okay? KG, the striker might be Marmouche, but Marmouche is not a center forward, bro. Marmouche is not a center forward. That's the problem. That is the problem. Asencio sale is not happening because of injury. Yes, I covered that already. Here we goes, JB. Yes, a couple of here we goes. Jamal, pick up yourself. The only academy player is Bataj. So who's left now? Who's actually left? The only player. I think CR7 is absolutely spot on. We don't have a lot of academy players. Like, we don't let our academy players develop. The moment they show us some sort of potential, sell. Madrid is not the team, chat. Madrid is not the team to rely heavily on academy players. We just don't. We sell players immediately. That's what we do. Palvides, he's too old, man. He's too old. Orizabal, again, Orizabal is not a center forward that we want. We want a pure 9, okay? We don't want another false 9. We want a pure 9. And I think Endrick could be that. But again, Endrick could also play on the right. That's what confuses me. Mbappe could play on the left. He could also play up front. So if Real Madrid are seriously considering to sign, which I can't really trust it, but where is it? Where's that post? We had that post. If they are serious about signing center forwards, it's got to be somebody like Osimhen. But Osimhen, again, is he going to be okay with being a backup? Roblox. I don't think he's going to be okay to be a backup. Giannis, says JV. No, Giannis is gone. We should get Lautaro Martinez and sell Kylian Mbappe. What? Are you a Real Madrid fan or are you a Barcelona fan? That guy must be... Look, Hind must be a Barcelona fan. He's not a Real Madrid fan. He's not a Real Madrid fan. Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. We could take Asencio to Castilla, but that's not good, though. Rashida, that's not good. We're trying to make money. Regarding Asencio, chat. We're trying to make money off of him. We don't want to put him in the reserves. That's not going to give us money. And we're still going to have to pay his salary, right? So that's not the move that we want to do. What we want to do is get some fee or get some loan deal for Asencio so we can actually go full in to sign Bastoni. That's what we want to do, right? That is what we want to do. I'm a Fulham fan because Arbeloa and Gonzalo Garcia and Palacios, says JB. Yeah, look, when the Premier League starts, we're definitely going to talk about them and we're going to see how they do. We're going to keep an eye on them for sure. For sure. Any other questions? Bring it up. Bring it up right now before we wrap up. A Real Madrid fan, I just hate Mbappe so much. Look, you wanted a few people that actually hate Kylian Mbappe. Haaland or Kane, wallahi, KG, says Cristiano. No, that's not happening. It's not even realistic. Capri is actually injured right now for Bournemouth. Simao, he's injured. I don't think he's coming in, and he's not a pure 9 as well. Sakili says Asencio must be sold immediately. Facts. Mateta as a backup, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. Mateta could make sense because Mateta wants to be, he could accept being a backup center forward. He's strong, he's big, and he's a pure 9. So Mateta could actually be a good deal, chat. It could be a good deal, but how much are we going to willing to spend money on Mateta? It's going to cost a little bit more, right? Open a spot, deregister Rodrigo to Sevilla. No, we're not doing that. We're not really doing that. UEFA is boycotting the World Cup of FIFA and them, and that's a whole another different topic. I don't want to cover that here. I really don't want to cover that here. But we covered everything. I think we covered everything. We pretty much covered everything. Let me just see before we wrap up. Let me just see. But look, we had to bring this in. Usually we're live at 5 p.m. Every single day, but we had to bring this in because 2 major here we goes are happening at the same damn time, and we had to cover it. We really had to cover it. But all in all, these are the stories. I don't think there's anything else. 2 major here we goes that we got, and also potentially signing Bastoni from Inter Milan. But that deal has been complicated. It has been complicated because of the Asencio situation. So I think we covered everything. Big up to every single one of you. Let me know in the comment sections what your thoughts are and all the topics that we've covered today. Of course, over here, let me just go through the poll. Would you sell Raúl Asencio to sign Bastoni? 79. I mean, look, 79% of you are saying Bastoni is world class and you're willing to send Asencio. Absolutely spot on. Keep Asencio 13%. Only for the right price is 8%. So most of you guys already agree. That he needs to be sold. Asencio needs to be sold. So there you have it. Let me know, as always. Look, let me know. Can we do Barcelona tomorrow, says Chicken? Yes, actually, we could do Barcelona tomorrow. Let me quickly see what time it is. So the Barcelona game is going to be 2:45. Yeah, 2:45. So I think we could do it. I think we could do the Barcelona game, chat. We could definitely Birmingham against Barcelona, 2:45 p.m. We might go live like 10, 15 minutes before the game starts. And I think we could definitely cover that. I think we can. Yep. I think we could do that. And then on Saturday, we have a couple of games on Saturday. Let me give you guys the schedule for the next stream. And if there's any breaking news today, there's some talks about Rodri. But again, no major updates regarding Rodri right now. When there is, of course, I'll bring it in, and we might potentially go live as well. But if there's nothing happening today and tomorrow we're gonna be doing the Barcelona game, and then on Saturday we'll be doing Manchester United against Atletico Madrid, and immediately after that, 9 a.m. Immediately after that, we got Real Madrid against Fiorentina. So those are the 2 games we will be doing. Earlier on that 5 a.m. there's Chelsea against Tottenham. That could be an interesting match. I don't know if I could wake up at 5 a.m. to watch Chelsea and Tottenham. I'll keep it 100. I don't think we could wake up at 5 a.m. to watch Chelsea against Tottenham. But if I'm up, look, we might go live. There's a lot of games coming up now, chat. A lot of games. Manchester City against Inter Milan also. That is going to be on Saturday. Arsenal against Girona. Again, that is going to be on Saturday. So a lot of games coming up on Saturday. So definitely for the Real Madrid game and Manchester United, we'll definitely go live for those 2. But yeah, Premier League is about to start. La Liga is about to start. We're getting prepared, chat. We're getting prepared. International football is completely done. We are getting prepared. But yeah, thank you all so much. Loan Asencio to Monaco. Rashid, look. That's exactly what we talked about. This whole show, we talked about getting rid of Asencio, finding a club for Asencio, that could maybe protect us, or that can allow us to sign Bastoni, and hopefully that can happen. Hopefully that could definitely happen. But yeah, let me know, chat. Let me know. Did Real Madrid make a mistake by selling Gonzalo? Will Gonzalo become a Premier League star? Which player is going to succeed more at Fulham? Is it Gonzalo? Is it Palacios? Should Real Madrid sell Asencio to finance Bastoni? Would you pay 80 M's or more for Bastoni? And is Bastoni and Hausen the perfect future partnership? Let me know in the comments. As always, smash that like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, I'm out. Peace.